guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching The Mandalorian. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching episode 7 of season 3 of The Mandalorian, penultimate episode. I'm expecting it to be a little bonkers, maybe go a little crazy, maybe leave us with a cliffhanger until next week when they resolve something, but then leave us with a ton of questions. It's simply to say that this is probably my favorite spot in most series, is where we're getting a lot of the bits and pieces and juices and the big chunks of meat of the story that we've been waiting for. Last week was fun. It was a fun episode. It was weird. And it didn't seem like it belonged, but of course it does. But I'm ready to get back on track. I'm ready to see where we're headed with Moff Gideon, Thrawn, the Darksaber. Now that our girl has it, she's wielding it with ease. By the way, I'll just say that when she fought which I kept saying it was a droid, but I guess there is something organic about him. But when she was fighting that thing, it looked so easy for her. And considering we've seen Paz Vizsla and Din Djarin wielding it, and they might as well just have a sack of rocks that they're trying to use as a sword. It's meant for her. It's meant for her. And what I'm really liking is that the story isn't about a Mandalorian anymore. It's about the Mandalorian. I feel like this season is really bringing back the Mandalorian to bring them together. And you really needed that with Bo-Katan. So I would just say that a lot of people are upset that Mando doesn't have the Darksaber and that he's not ruling Mandalore. He doesn't want that. He's never wanted that. That's not even him. He's not going to be good at it. He's fantastic at his job, which is to find things and deliver things. And that's what he does so well. Let Bo-Katan rule Mandalore. Let her rebuild everything. Let her tell all these factions, all these different groups, these different coverts of Mandalorian what to do, because that is not him. And I love that for us, because we know that the Mandalorian are coming back together. Where that heads in the future, I'm not quite sure, because we know from the sequels, we don't really see them getting involved with the First Order. So I hope they're not eliminated. But I am super excited for her to have the Darksaber and to actually have won it in combat, which I still think is a very, very thin way to have won it. It's very Elder Wand. But I'm not necessarily upset either. I was hoping for some big battle that she'd win it from somebody that maybe took it from Din. But and I mean a big battle, between somebody that was built up over the season as this big bad. But the fact that it happened episodes ago and then Din's hey, by the way, this is yours. I was just kind of well, that was uneventful. But I do really like it at the end. I was hoping she'd hold it overhead like she does in the Clone Wars. But maybe we'll get that in this episode. Maybe the last episode. I want the visual correlation between the two. I really, really do. Now we still have Thrawn that we're looking forward to, which the Ahsoka trailer, I'm getting emotional. Go watch my trailer reaction for that. I was crying at the end of it. I couldn't contain myself, my excitement and my love for those characters. But I'm super excited to kind of get to him. I bought all of the Thrawn books, actually. I don't know how I'm going to read them before Ahsoka, and then maybe piece together what parts of that story or those other stories that they're adding to that show. But super excited to get to that, or have some information about that. Moff Gideon, look, I love Giancarlo Esposito, and I want him in every episode, but it's almost better that he's not in every episode, that when we do get him, we get those little tidbits of him, that it's just power moment. But we also have to figure out, does the New Republic think that the Mandalorian have taken Moff Gideon? I don't know if Tiva gave them that information, or if that's, I mean, obviously it was a setup with the Beskar, because it didn't say armor, it said alloy. So wonder if there's going to be a group of people coming for the Mandos because of that, to find Moff Gideon. And then they're all off to find Moff Gideon. I think they're really just wanting to restart or repopulate Mandalore. But they're probably going to be on Navarro for a while. I don't know what's going to happen. I normally am really good at like kind of seeing where the story's going. And then this show, it kind of just goes off into left field sometimes, which is actually fine because I don't like when things are super predictable. But anyway, guys, super excited to get into this episode. So let's get into it. Okay, back on Coruscant. Jango Fett clone, I'm telling you.
Report. And make it quick, as I am short on time.
It wasn't the New Republic. Magistrate Karga was aided by Mandalorians.
Which Mandalorians?
Thorn in your side, Mandalorians.
This cannot be. Those two factions are sworn enemies.
Which is why I contacted you with haste.
Oh, so happy to get him back. Ooh. Oh, I have PTSD with corridors like this.
That strength must not be wasted. Grand Admiral Thrawn's return will herald in the re-emergence of our military. And provide Commandant Hux enough time to deliver on Project Necromancer.
Hux.
Captain Pelion, once again, that Grand Admiral Thrawn is missing from your delegation.
Yeah, where is he? I want to see him.
Dr. Pershing was captured by the New Republic. His research is lost. For now, at least.
I also hear
What does that
whispers,
mean?
Gideon. You held Pershing and were attempting your own experiments on Navarro.
The creation of clones is your obsession, not mine. Awaiting the grand plan to take shape, while you and Pelion amass countless resources and equipment which should be shared.
Call out. I love Moff Gideon.
Mandalorians.
What?
They are preparing to retake their home world of Mandalore.
Okay. Is that bad?
We need to stamp them out now.
Yes.
You'll have your reinforcements.
Oh,
and
shit.
your guard.
We shall be rid of the Mandalorians once and for all. Long live the Empire!
Long live the Empire!
I mean, we don't see them in the future. I said that in my commentary that, like, you don't see them, like, in the sequel trilogy, the Spies. Oh my gosh. Got such a cold chill. Giancarlo Esposito as Moff Gideon is so phenomenal. But I thought for sure he was working with Thrawn. Hasn't even seen him.
High Magistrate, an Imperial shuttle is advancing over the city.
Former Imperial shuttle.
It was an Imperial ship.
Look at the
Look
markings.
at the markings.
Yep.
See those, my friend, are Mandalorian privateers. They're our welcome guests. Come.
Oh god, if Moff Gideon's gonna bomb the Mandalorians, are they gonna bomb Navarro? After they saved all these people? So cool. So cool.
I hope
Aww.
these two groups get along.
On her lap? Oh my god, I love this ship so much. It's like watching a cruiser land on land is just insane. They're so big.
Take the children inside.
Yeah, I noticed they don't have any children with them. Well, besides Grogu. Tension.
Let us prepare a feast for our guests.
Look at all these Mandalorians. It's so exciting. They don't have a civil war first.
That's all the way from Coruscant, so you might want to wait for a smaller gathering before you open it.
Thank you.
Yeah, now I'm worried about nanobots or whatever being in it. Hey, buddy. The slow walk is a little creepy. Oh god, the baby. Hey!
What did you do to IG-11?
No, that's IG-12 now. They removed his memory circuit. The pilot provides cognition.
Yes.
Is Grogu gonna pilot that thing? I love the insolence. Oh my god, this is too cute.
Well,
Bad baby, no
he's too little to
squeezy.
operate this
No,
thing.
no, no, no. But let's see if he fits.
He's like a dad. He doesn't want him to grow up too soon. Is there enough room for his ears?
Grogu is too young to operate heavy machinery. Maybe when he's older.
No.
What do you mean, no?
No.
I think he's saying he's old enough to operate it.
Yes.
Get him out of there.
No.
This is not a good idea. Come on.
Aww.
Hey,
Oh my god. Grogu has a way of talking, walking,
back?
shooting.
Yes. 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 Yes.
I love this. I was so upset they were bringing him back,
Yes.
and now I'm not.
Yes. Yes.
That's annoying.
no.
Yes.
Hey, Grogu,
No.
give it.
No.
Grogu, give it back.
Shenanigans.
This isn't working for me.
Oh, he just got a new toy. He's got to play with it.
Even though the planet is not cursed, there are still dangers. Which is why I'm proposing that we leave Navarro and move the fleet into orbit above Mandalore.
Yeah.
Send down a small recon party.
Now I'm worried about Moff
I
Gideon
need
bombing them.
volunteers from both tribes.
Grogu, yes.
I will go.
I
Oh.
will go.
I will go.
As Vizsla was like, oh, I'm going then.
I will go as well.
Oh, really? I guess she wants to see the forge. That does make sense, but I'm used to her, like, running shit. So, a little worrisome that all the people that, like, are semi-important are leaving. Look at our fleet! Oh, I love that when they come out of Harper's face.
It's worse than I thought.
I was here when it happened.
I hope those two don't have bad blood. I'd really like if they were besties, but I feel like they're gonna have a hard time. So cool! Oh my gosh. I want a jetpack. I do miss the floating egg, but I think shenanigans will be a lot funner with him in IG-12. Not 11, 12.
We'll survey the surface until we find the forge and create a safety zone. Form up.
She's such a good leader.
There, on the horizon.
Oh.
Night owls.
Flanking left.
Whoa, that's wild. Look at that! And she's got the night owl on.
You wear the crest of the night owls.
She certainly
I
does.
should hope so. They're Mandalorians.
They're still here.
We knew you would not forsake us, Lady Bo-Katan. We have failed you, but our blasters remain in your service.
Whew.
I did surrender. I met with Moff Gideon. In exchange for submitting to the Empire and disarming, all remaining cities and Mandalorian lives were to be spared. That is how Moff Gideon came to possess the Darksaber.
Well, that answers that question.
Mandalore has always been too powerful for any enemy to defeat. It is always our own division that destroys us.
Oh boy, that was a very emotional scene. Happy to see it.
Your song is not yet written. I will serve you until it is.
Oh.
Those of you who are well enough can join us in the search for the Great Forge.
We can do better than that.
We can show you where it is.
We can bring you there.
Oh, yay.
To the forge!
I like the nitty-gritty look of all of this. Now, the one part of Clone Wars that I skipped was the Mandalorian sections. I have seen parts of it, so I'm sure that those men are definitely characters that y'all know who have watched it, so I'll have to go back and rewatch those episodes.
You can't move an enforcer like that.
It's a flank jump, and you're about to submit.
Are you rewriting the
Only
rules?
the wing guard can flank jump.
Please don't fight about this.
The enforcer moves like a wing guard when it's flanking.
These primitives make up their own rules for everything.
Oh! That was unexpected. We knew that these two were going to have to duke it out. They've been eyeballing each other since they saw each other.
Should I step in?
Neither side can step in. It was bound to happen sooner or later.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Oh! Well, Grogu can.
No.
That's our baby.
You taught your apprentice well.
You didn't learn that from me.
Oh, a little nod. I am so worried of what's going to happen when she crests the storm.
Prepare to receive rescued survivors in need of medical attention.
Copy, Gauntlet.
I'm worried something's going to happen. All the people that we care about except for the armorer are on Mandalore.
There! On the starboard bow!
Oh. Oh. Is the mythosaur isn't gonna pop up, is it? I don't think that was the mythosaur. Oh, wait, is it? I can't tell.
Abandon ship!
Oh, man. I didn't realize there was that many on that ship. Couldn't tell. Was that a mythosaur? It didn't look like one.
We're not far. We need to go further down. Go, go, go.
Or what if that's another creature and the mythosaur pops up and saves everybody? And Bo-Katan jumps on, goes for a ride. I'm just going to write the story as I watch, okay?
This is what's left of the Great Forge.
Some tried to explore below, but none survived.
Jetpacks.
More?
More survivors.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. God, it was so hard to see. Oh, yep. Stormtroopers with jetpacks. I hate it.
There's a split in the ceiling there. I'll lay down cover.
Look at them working together. See? Besties. Nice. I could watch Bo-Katan do her thing for days. Love her. What worries me is that there's Imperials here. Where are the rest of them? Oh my god, they've been here. Was it a trap?
It's an ambush.
Disarm him.
So cool, but
I will create an army that will bring order to the galaxy. Why don't we take your fleet off the board while we still have the element of surprise?
No, how about
Activate the
no?
interceptors and bombers.
I'm so stressed out.
Now, surrender the Darksaber and tell these people that this planet is mine.
This is the way.
Kill them!
I don't want any of them to die.
Fall back. I'll cover the rear.
I don't want Paz Vizsla to die. I don't want anyone to die. But I've grown to like him.
We're not leaving you behind.
Go. There are too many.
No!
This is the way.
Badass. What about your son? Yeah, hand-to-hand combat with this guy is no joke. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I didn't expect that. I know we asked for them, but I didn't expect it. Good job, Rick. Every episode you direct is just amazing. He barely fits in there. Not a mythosaur. Okay, well, R.I.P. Paz Vizsla. That's sad. It was nice that he kind of had a moment. I mean, I guess a little bit with Axe. I was like, oh, those two are going to be best friends forever. Nope. I always forget about the Praetorian Guards. Like, as soon as I said it, I was like, how do I know that? And as soon as I saw them, I was like, oh yeah, those guys. Nice to have Moff Gideon back, kinda. Of course, whenever he's around, havoc is wreaked. Now, obviously, they've had this whole operation going on where they're mining Beskar. Great. So the thing is, though, is that at the beginning, you see Moff Gideon talking to the rest of the Imperials that are trying to, rebuild the Empire. And they're talking about Thrawn's return. And it's just really interesting that Moff Gideon is almost kind of mocking them. Like, oh, yet he hasn't, been in any of our meetings. Like, has he really returned? And he's doing like the Moff Gideon thing. I find it very interesting that we don't know of Moff Gideon in any other iteration of Star Wars, but we know Thrawn, and we know Thrawn will be back for Ahsoka. So I would just say when it comes to Moff Gideon, you might want to watch what you're saying because I'm sure Thrawn monitors every one of those meetings. I would hope that somebody brings Gideon to his knees, and Thrawn would definitely be the person that does that. Now, the fact that there were still people that were living on Mandalore, even after its fall, like, that's loyalty, but like they were barely scraping by. And I don't know who those men were specifically. I mean, obviously they're part of the Night Owls. There was a big chunk of Clone Wars that I don't want to say that I skipped, but I did not pay much attention to. And it would probably be the Mandalorian section, which is why I really like the show, is because I don't know a lot about it. And the stuff that I do know about is very, very mild. So I'm still surprised and excited about some stuff. But I don't know if we are supposed to know who that is. So let me know down below. It's interesting to see all of these factions, coverts, clans, whatever that they're deciding to call them, that they're all the tribes, that they're bringing them together. And that Bo-Katan, it really shows that she's a really good leader. And like I said at the beginning, is like, Din Djarin does not want to lead Mandalore. He does not want to lead Mandalorians. Like, that's not his way. But I do love that they had the conversation where he's just like, we don't care who has the darksaber. You know, none of that means anything to us. And, you know, him still like, you know, giving her loyalty because of character and honor, I think is the biggest show of respect that you can give someone. Now, obviously, Paz Vizsla's sacrifice, I think, is going to mean something to the other faction. I don't know what we should call them, because now they're just all the Mandalorians. But I guess the fleet faction. I don't know. But I think that might mean something to Axe. You know, like it might just like show that like the tribe that they have come upon, that they looked down on, was willing to sacrifice themselves to help everyone else get away. And I don't think that's going to be lost on Axe at all. Even though him and Paz Vizsla didn't really have the opportunity to become besties like I was hoping, I do feel like that's going to be very meaningful to Axe. Now, I had said from the beginning I didn't like the idea of them bringing back IG-11. It like really bothered me that I was just like, he had like this honorable death, and it was like so beautiful, and like sometimes you should just leave well enough alone. But now that we have a new iteration and it's IG-12 and it's manned by Grogu, yes, comic relief 100%. Him separating Paz Vizsla and Axe was fantastic, because like he's not dressed as a Mandalorian, so obviously he can be the one that's like, chill out. Or no. They got to give him more vocabulary than yes and no. They really do. But I love the shenanigans. It was just enough that you could see that Din was like an annoyed dad. And then Grogu was like the kid who just like got his first car, you know, he's just like, well, I'm going to go do a donut. It's like, no. Oh, it's really cute. I'm worried about anything that like they can drink. After the last episode, Grief Karga hands Din Djarin like, you know, like the bottle of like whatever it is that he handed him. I am so worried about nanobots and stuff and infecting droids. Like it could affect IG-12 while Grogu's in it. You know, like I'm so worried about that kind of stuff. And so I'm suspicious of that. Not of Grief Karga, but the fact that he mentioned it was from Coruscant. So I'm just like, I don't like that. Now, obviously, the bombers are going to go bomb the fleet, and the armorer is up there, and she's a great leader. And I'm hoping that like she can either get back to our group somehow and swoop them up and get them up there. But like Din Djarin being taken at the end, I don't know if they're necessarily going to leave the planet or not. It seems like there's like a whole base of operation that's on Mandalore. So when they said take him to the briefing room, I don't think that was on a ship. I think that was actually on Mandalore. So they might not leave until they rescue Din. Especially after Paz Vizsla's sacrifice, I'm sure that they'll be like, we're not leaving him behind. Because you know that if it was Din Djarin, he would have sacrificed himself. Like he was, you know, in the front of the group, ready to take all the fire. But I'm really worried about Moff Gideon having him because of their history, what went down. But I'm glad that she didn't surrender the darksaber. I'm glad that they kind of understood that she had already done it before and she wasn't going to do it again, especially to Moff Gideon. Now, I wonder if our fleet is ready for Moff Gideon's fleet. I don't think either fleet has Beskar ship armor. I don't think that there's enough of that. But I do think that we're pretty capable in space. At least I hope we're capable in space. It's also an Imperial fleet, like versus an Imperial fleet. So I feel like the Imperials are going to have information on those ships and like how to bring them down or like where their flaws are. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit. We'll see. I love episodes like this. Like we're getting so many shots of like all the Mandos congregating on Navarro, and then when they're on Mandalore, like different shots of them like forging their way across Mandalore. On I don't know what that ship is called that the I guess locals had. But that was super cool. So sorry it's destroyed. And I don't know what came up out of the surface there, but I was just like, is it a mythosaur? It was definitely not a mythosaur. But that would be really cool if. What if Bo-Katan could go to the living waters, find the mythosaur, ride the mythosaur in battle, and take down Moff Gideon's forces that are on Mandalore? What a badass. I'm really loving her in this, like her whole leadership role and like who she's become and like how she's being very earnest and very open and isn't hiding anything. Like she could have just said that she never surrendered and let everyone believe that like how everything went down is how it went down. And I think her telling that story, it showed that like she was like willing to do anything to save the Mandalorian. And I see honor and value in that. She's a fantastic leader. She's a fantastic leader. I was really hoping to see her wield the Darksaber a little bit more in this episode, not to necessarily just cut open a door. But I'm sure that'll be coming in the next one. I would love to see her, go head to head with Moff Gideon and take him down and him actually die. Like, I think he's a great character. And like I said, Giancarlo Esposito is such a great actor and he's so good at playing that guy. Like he's always a bad guy, but it's never the same bad guy. And I love that. I've seen him like play a perfectly, normal good guy role, whatever. But he's so good at bad guys. I love it. And maybe we'll get Thrawn. Maybe we'll get some Ahsoka. I don't necessarily need it, but like I know it's going to lead into Ahsoka, and then all like the shows are probably eventually going to combine for like a finality, I think, or like a movie, I think was announced. A Dave Filoni movie. I can't wait for that either. There's a lot of good stuff that's coming out. The final season of The Bad Batch, which when they said final season, that makes me sad because we don't really see any of the people on The Bad Batch in the future. So I want to, and I'm hoping that everything is resolved nicely with that in a way that doesn't break my heart, like the last episode of The Bad Batch did. So I feel like it's all coming together for one big clash. It's going to be epic. Well, guys, if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon, as well as full-length reactions to all the previous episodes. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. One, how do you think we're gonna end this season? Next episode, like, do you think Bo-Katan's gonna fight Moff Gideon again? You think she's gonna kill him with the Darksaber? It would be very poetic. How do you think Axe is going to respond to Paz Vizsla's sacrifice? Do you think it's going to bring everyone together? I certainly think so. How do you think the fleet's going to do in space without our people? Do you think Bo-Katan is going to ride the mythosaur to save the day and swoop in and he's going to bite the head off of Moff Gideon? We have to remember what service we're watching this on. I don't know if Disney would have it or not, but it would be epic. I don't know, guys. Like, I mean, how do you think that they're going to get Din Djarin out? Do you think it's going to be a siege? Do you think that Grogu's going to go nuts with IG-12 and is going to shoot his way through? The fact that IG-12 is not Beskar is worrisome. We have to get the Inzellians back on that. Make a Beskar IG droid. That'd be amazing. He doesn't need a helmet. He's got a droid. I am looking forward to seeing what happens with that. That's crazy, and it's wonderful that he can get around better, and he actually can serve a purpose. Like he can like be in battles, not just like little wrist shooters, but like he's got like a full range, a full 360 that he can shoot, which is dangerous for our boy because he's not used to shooting blasters, but at the same time, I feel like he's got the instinct in him. He is both Mando and Jedi, so I think he'll do well. Okay, guys, until next week, I'll see ya.